Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Lines and Podcast. We're here to talk about everything Club Leon in English. For everybody listening to us via X on Twitter and YouTube. Hello, welcome. You guys know, as always, feel free to jump into the conversation, leave us comments, and we'll definitely share them on the screen. But yeah, so gentlemen, Carlos, Javi, and Louis, how are we feeling after Sunday's game?
Good vibes only, and it took a while, but at least in terms of wins and losses, we seem to have found our groove in this tournament. It hasn't been the prettiest style of football to watch, but I mean, for those who are clamoring that we're winning, but we're not gustando, nothing makes you happier in any sort of competitive atmosphere than the final score, your team having more than the other team. That is what we are in this for, first and foremost. And as long as that is going the way it needs to be going, I'm not going to complain about the formas. I mean, also just we have the best player in the league, even if as a team we're not showing the prettiest style of play that we possibly could. We have the best player possibly in Liga MX right now, the most informed and best player in the league, and it's just a joy to watch him always, no matter what. And he came through for us again, just like he has all season. And no matter what else anyone is doing, we should just count our blessings for as long as we have him, and as long as we can keep continuing to see him play for our team and to see him continue to lead us to wins. I mean, I think there's not a whole lot to complain about with this team. Still don't really know what we're destined for in this tournament, how far we can go. But I mean, at least at the very least, we're probably on the edge of not really having to worry about at least making the play-in. Where there probably will be a postseason at this point. I feel pretty safe in saying that. And when you start out the season, that's what you're going for. That's what you want. That's the end goal. Have a chance at the end to play for the title. I think we're going to have that. And we're winning games, and it's good vibes in Club Leon land right now. Jorge Baba is probably saving his job, and it's nice to see the team go on this little winning streak that they're on. 10 points in 12 games. That's or 10 out of 12 points possible in the last 4 games. That's nothing to sneeze at. So I'm content. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with everything that Louis just said. I think Viñas right now is being that exception to the old cliche. No team depends on one man, because he's basically a one-man team right now. If you take him out of our roster, there's really nobody else that stands out. So yeah, like Louis said, let's count our blessings as long as we have him, because from what we've all heard this past week, it sounds like he's not going to be here very long. So we'll get into that in a bit.
We will, and actually that just reminded me of something that I saw durante la semana about América, and they were saying que bien para Viñas, maybe a lo mejor le costó cuando jugó con el América. I'm like, no, I think what was happening is you guys didn't play him. You didn't give him any minutes, and now you're seeing what Carlos just said. He's a one-man team in many ways. Te resuelve partidos. So that was pretty much that. Henry Martin, he totalmente nunca lo van a sacar, and they missed out on a really great player, seleccionado uruguayo, and hopefully, yeah, he's I think in his prime, or getting to a point where I could see him playing in Europe. So we lucked out. Gracias que Baba le dio los minutos, because I mean that sometimes with a player like Viñas, who I think we said it last time too, even if he played very little minutes, he did okay in America, But yeah, I think lo que estamos viendo es when you actually give the right opportunities, the right minutes to the right player, you see these resultados. Y también qué asistencia de Ludwig. Come on. And plus, we beat un gran equipo de Necaxa. Yes.
No, I just want to let me just side note for the record. I can't stand that sentiment, Carlos, that they always say like le pesó la camiseta in another club, whatever, in America, or they say a lot about Chivas too, like players who don't do anything in America or Chivas, and then they actually go to another place and they shine, or the other way around, they shine somewhere prior. JJ Macias, they shine somewhere prior, and then they get sent to one of those clubs and they don't do anything, and they say, oh, le pesa la camiseta de Chivas, le pesa la camiseta de América. No, like
¿Cómo?
those clubs, they just stock up on players. They stock up on players, and then the coaches have their favorites, and it's not necessarily because they're better. There's just they get stuck behind someone in the depth chart, and they just don't have a chance to brillar. I mean, it's not that he's a better player now than he was in America. It's that León, desató his posibilidades. I mean, that's just really all it is to me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a weak argument, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a weak argument.
No, it's those teams.
It's
but it's fans of those teams who always say it because they can't tolerate the fact that a player that they had is doing something good for another club. They just they can't deal with it, so they make up that excuse. And Necaxa, not a club grande, Javi, but they hadn't lost at home all season. We handed them their first home loss of this Clausura 2024, which I didn't realize until after it happened, and I went back and looked. And
well, I mean, they've been pretty solid, and I think we beat a team that's also trying to get that spot with León. So like this game against Querétaro, it was a good.
Yeah, they're neck and neck in the table right now. I mean, it didn't feel that monumental for us to go and win there because we always win there. I mean, we've won 7 out of the 8 Liga MX meetings in Aguascalientes with Necaxa. So going there and winning is just par for the course. But they were mad. Those Necaxa fans. My respect to the Necaxa fans in Aguascalientes because that club doesn't really identify with that city too much. It never has. It was just kind of installed there when there were too many teams to be marketable in La Ciudad de Mexico, and they moved there, and they've never really had the identity. But the few Necaxa fans that show out in Aguascalientes, they really go for their team, and they were not pleased that about that last minute loss to León. There was some clear displeasure on the faces of those fans, and that made it all the sweeter, honestly.
I think with Necaxa, especially this season, I think they restored some faith back into those fans because those fans, I think, for a while have been very frustrated. So, even just before seeing the Necaxa games to now, it's like not just necessarily the León game, but just when Necaxa play at home, you do see a fuller stadium because the results are coming in. I don't think they're that great. I think this season they have just had a bit of a luck run. They don't have, great players or anything like that. I think it just reminds me of when Guede was with Morelia and kind of had a spark of a run with the team. So I think this is kind of, to me, what's kind of happening with Necaxa and Ventanas this season. But we'll see if they're the real deal next season or how they end up finishing this season.
It's weird. It's weird. I mean, Necaxa, let's say once every 5 years they catch fire in a bottle. I remember one of the last times they were good was in the Apertura 19 when we played them, and it was like a clash of the 2 top table teams. Necaxa was near the top of the table, but that team had Chicote Calderon, and they had Mauro Quiroga, and they had Canelo Alvarez, and they had a bunch of names that you recognize, players that went on to do good things at other clubs. This club, the only name I was listening in their starting lineup, I didn't even realize the only name you recognize is Brian Garnica. If the only player you recognize in a starting lineup is Brian Garnica, you're probably not going too far. But somehow they've caught fire in a bottle. At least they had prior to this game. Who knows how they'll finish out the tournament? I don't really know what kind of schedule they have. I could see them falling off completely. Honestly, I agree with you, Cuddy. I didn't really like what I saw from them. I mean, I think they've probably gotten a lot of lucky results this season. I mean, kind of like León has, to be fair. But I just I don't really. Brian Garnica, really? I mean, he's a pain for us because of his Atlas time. But I mean, come on, if that's the most recognizable name on the roster, really? How have they had the season that they did?
Cambindo's been ripping it too. He's a pretty good
but he's not
striker.
He's not a household name. This isn't like.
I wouldn't call him a household name, but I think most of us here are Liga MX fans, and we try to watch as many games as we can. He's one of those guys. For me, at least when I watch Necaxa games, they're usually his name comes up more than once during narración.
Yeah, and he's one of those dudes who always tends to kill León, on the counter, one of those fast guys, a John Murillo or or there've been a number of them over the years. Now we have one of our own, Edgar Guerra, who woke up a little bit in the second half after not having a very good first half against Necaxa. But it's just. But this isn't like one of those typical. What Necaxa does, they have one of the best scouting departments in all of Liga MX. So they find these guys that nobody knew about, nobody was looking for, nobody thought of. They develop them and then they sell them off. But occasionally they'll have enough of them together at one time where the team is good. But this isn't really one of those situations, I don't think. They have a couple of guys who stand out maybe, but it's not like that. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the scouting maybe is not as it was at that point, because at that point we were seeing a lot of turnover of them having players come in and out. So I think they might be at a stuck point, right now. But we'll see what happens. Like Louis said, we'll see how they finish off this season. Arturo Ruiz says, "Saludos. I'm just enjoying the moment. 5 games without a loss feels good."
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been pretty, but
no,
you gotta hand it to them, because a win is a win. There's that old Vin Diesel saying, "A win is a win. Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. A win is a win, and that's all that counts."
No, and I mean, this has also kind of been the formula for success in Liga MX in recent seasons. How many of those Tigres titles were pretty? None of them were. They just kind of dink and doinked their way to the finish line. And, I'm not suggesting that this León is built to do that necessarily, but I'm also saying there's no reason that they can't. There's no reason that they can't make a deep run in Liguilla playing like this. I mean, there's precedent for having that happen in past seasons, not in the not too far distant past even. So just keep it up, just keep it up. It doesn't always have to be pretty. But Binez is always going to be pretty. Whatever he does he's King Midas right now. That's the difference. I mean, we've got I think I said it already, but I think he's the best player in the league right now.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about los lesionados, because we have a lot of injured players. We have Angel Mena, we have Alan Medina and Adonis. Guardado is supposed to be coming back soon. Do you guys know exactly when he might come back?
I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the bench against Querétaro.
Yeah.
He might be a bench player for the rest of the season, because whatever they're doing right now is working.
That's the thing. If you recover all these injured players, a lot of them were starters. Like, what do you do?
They were starters when things were not going well.
Yeah.
And now they've kind of found a formula that's working. And so I still think all these guys coming back, I still think they can be valuable contributors, but I just don't know if it's going to be as starters.
And I guess we'll have to see what if Ivan Moreno will be out, or he's be back because of that terrible injury that he had, which I'm like, ooh, that was kind of brutal to watch.
No, but he left the field under his own power. He was walking just fine. I don't know. It didn't seem that serious.
I mean, you don't know, especially in that area, and maybe in the next couple of days, or maybe he has a bruised ankle, or I don't know. Things down there.
Yeah, I mean, they did him off on the Carrito de las Desgracias, but he was sitting up and then he walked into the dugout on his own power. So hopefully it's not that bad, because he's, after last season was a little inconsistent with Larcamon, and this season he's kind of reestablished himself as the number one option there. So hopefully he comes back and not too serious. Oh yeah, just one more thing, Carlos. No, you said no one else is standing out. I'd say no one else is standing out in the attack, but we mentioned before in the chat Barreiro and
I know who you're gonna say.
And even my favorite player on the face of the earth, who I have to give him his due. I'll give him his due at least for getting the assist from the throw-in, which we weren't even sure that was. I didn't even know if that was something that could be marked down in the stat sheet, an assist from a throw-in. But they gave Osvaldo Rodriguez, who's never been a player that I can put my absolute faith in. But he and Barreiro, especially on the defensive end, have had a good season. And so props to them. They have stood out. It's just not as easy to stand out on that side of the field. But good props to them. And as you said, Carlos, nobody talks about them, and they've had great seasons.
Yeah, Paul Velon too, right?
And Paul Velon, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, he's a standout performer.
Yeah.
Pobre León. Anything else, guys, regarding this Necaxa game before we move on?
Javier, you back?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you got a little
It's a little low.
noise in the background, but
Or just speak out.
Let me try the headphones again.
okay.
Yeah, guys, anything else regarding the Necaxa game that we need to talk about?
No, just par for the course. It's Estadio León 2.
Yeah, Estadio León 2.0, right? 2.0.
2.0.
A home away from home.
Yeah.
Just a quick shout out to Tom Buckley. Shout out to Tom Buckley, who's a Necaxa fan. We've had him on the podcast before.
Is he a Necaxa fan?
He's a Necaxa fan. Yeah, I think he told. I don't know if
Really?
he told us on the podcast or if he told us like outside of the podcast. But yeah, he's a Necaxa fan. Yeah,
That's kind of random, but my respect to fans of those sorts of teams.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, probably when he started for watching Liga Mexicana and Necaxa in the 90s, maybe when they were on.
Yeah, in the early 90s, they had a small época de gloria and all that, but
I would say like the entire decade.
Yeah. Mad props to people who go out and support those kind of clubs. I have mad respect for that.
Yeah, and obviously the whole Aguascalientes thing, like the closeness with León, and you guys were saying what Estadio de León 2.0. That's the last thing I heard. I think this is why Necaxa and now the game we're gonna face contra Querétaro, and I think I would no se meto también a San Luis. I think those are like the most important like regional rivalries that León has. That's why it has those kind of so it's kind of good that happened. That's what Louis was mentioning, that the people that were there were really mad. That's kind of what's supposed to happen. They're supposed to be more emotionally invested. And for a while, that was a problem, right, with Necaxa and Aguascalientes. But,
it still is, honestly.
Yeah.
It still is. But
yeah, it's going to take a while.
The people who show out, the people who actually show out at the stadium there are diehards.
Yeah.
You don't really see a lot of Necaxa culture and imagery around the city. But the people who actually show up at the stadium, they are obviously into it, and they were not happy.
But yeah, it's a good thing to beat Necaxa and Aguascalientes, because a lot of people show up over there, and that's what you kind of want to see. You want to see León invadir esas canchas.
Yeah, and I think it's good for the league for a team like Necaxa to be not dominating but winning, doing better than usual, right?
Yeah,
I think that le da más espectáculo a la liga to have a team that they're pretty much the dark horse, I would say.
¿Quién es el dueño de Necaxa? I heard it was like a bunch of celebrities. I really don't. That's the whole situation.
Wasn't it Eva Longoria and
Eva Longoria?
Oh yeah. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a group of celebrities.
Well, yeah, it's interesting because then, from that point of view, maybe va a haber cambios. I don't know. No sé cómo trabajan, if they have other experience with other teams. But yeah, for sure, they, like you guys were saying, they have a really good scouting program, for sure. Davila, right? También vino con Necaxa?
Yeah, Davila was discovered by Necaxa. And mad props. So just one last thing. Props for Callando la Boca of Fentanes, who in his pregame interview didn't really want to give León its respect. He wanted to talk about, he thought his team was already a title contender, and he didn't want to even he basically thought of this game as a side note, and it didn't work out too well for him in that sense. So yeah.
I googled the owner. So it's Mesut Ozil, Eva Longoria, Sean Marion, and MLB.
Sean Marion from the Chargers?
The NBA.
No,
player?
Sean Marion, former Phoenix Suns, Suns star.
Okay.
Who am I thinking about? I was thinking about some Charger, Sean Marion. I don't know.
That's crazy, Sean Marion. That's the last person I would have guessed.
Oh, Marion.
Yeah, Marion.
I heard there's a lot of celebrities.
His financial advisor probably just told him, "Oh, you have a good investment opportunity here."
Yeah.
He's like, "Okay, I don't even need to know anything about it. Just I trust you." You know.
And then MLB pitcher Justin Verlander,
Verlander.
What?
Verlander.
What? You got
Yeah.
Verlander too and all that?
and Model Cape Upton.
Kate Upton, right?
Kate Upton. Who does she used to? I don't even know. Was it Ryan?
Dang, that's crazy, bro.
Well, look,
Yeah.
man.
Ownership.
That's gonna definitely be good news for Necaxa, right? Like you have a lot. They got money for sure. So
Yeah, but
somehow
that was back in 2021. We're in 2024 in 3 years. Like, have we actually seen a big change? Not really.
Not really. No.
Nah.
Small, a little. I don't know. I'm trying to give them some props.
Well, we're talking about him.
Right,
True.
we are. So that
The
little
league's
bit,
talking about him.
The league's talking
Yeah.
about it. So let's go with the
Good for them.
chat.
Good for them.
Ulrich said, with the amount of injuries the team has, Jorge Bava has done a good job rotating players around and getting wins. And then Sauce Boy said, a little late, but saludos. Hello.
Saludos, bro.
Saludos. What else? Oh, talk about Cervantes, youngster that came in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
scored.
He came in and did a great job.
Yeah. One of his better games for sure.
I wouldn't mind him starting again against Querétaro. You know, if Ivan has like a, I mean, I don't know how crazy his injury is, but if he has like a bruise or something, he can't come off, or he has to come off the bench. Cervantes did a great job. I think he deserves a start at least after that performance.
Yes, and seeing Canterano open their account like that is always an enjoyable thing, a positive thing.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things that I most enjoyed about that win against Necaxa.
I mean,
he's from
Guanajuato,
even if
it was,
right?
Yes, he is.
He's from where you're from right now, Louis.
He is from Guanajuato City. Yes, he is. And even if the goal was mostly just, finishing off a play that was mostly started by Viñas, I mean, it was still nice to see him. He was in the right place at the right time.
No, really good, and he has improved, which is what counts. So quickly, the rundown of the last jornada: Puebla losing to Tigres 3-2. América beating San Luis 2-1. Oh, my earring fell. Mazatlán beat Xolos 2-0. What is going on with Xolos?
They suck.
They're playing Necaxa next.
Oh, that should be fun.
That would be a great opportunity for them. That would be a great opportunity for them to get their first win of the season. That would really do us a solid.
Yeah, you're kind of pulling for Tijuana on this one if you're León, right? Because it's Pumas, Chivas, Querétaro. They're all fighting neck and neck. It's getting.
A draw would be fine as long as we beat Querétaro. A draw would be okay too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's time to. I've used this term before when we start making a deep season run. Like, let's get greedy. People are talking about we can make the play, and there's 4 matches left, 12 points left on the table. We're already sitting on 20. 3 of those are very winnable matches. The only one that I really see an issue with is the Monterrey match, and even that one, you never know. I'm playing at home. I would never chalk up any home game to a sure loss. So there are points left to be had out of these last 4 matches, and
Monterrey just lost to Chivas.
You can still keep climbing.
Monterrey just lost.
They lost to Chivas,
and they're losing
to Miami. And they're losing to Miami.
Lost to Chivas playing 2 men down, but yes.
And they're losing to Miami.
And I'm going to say, and they got to play another game there too. So maybe by the time we play Monterrey, they're going to be a little bit tired. I don't know. I'm trying to see the positive side against Monterrey because let's say they do beat Miami and they continue to they play otro clásico regio. If of course Tigres beats Columbus. So I'm still thinking about that.
Will they be playing? Wait,
you're right about that.
No, their return leg in Monterrey will be next week.
It's next
week.
Won't.
Yeah, they won't have had a midweek
match.
All
the Monterrey.
Well, no, because the next round would be later. They won't have had a midweek match.
Who scored?
Oh,
Monterrey.
No, player was.
It was Maxi Mesa.
My stream is like 20 seconds behind.
Maxi Mesa.
I'm in my mom's house, so she's got all these soccer channels for FS1.
Yeah, I've got 3 games on at the same time too here around my workstation.
It's because my mom she takes care of this lady who's like 92, but she's a big Liverpool fan. Like she loves Liverpool, so she has all the
What?
sports channels, and I win. So like, so when I come, I see everything. Clipper games, everything, all the games, Padre games.
That's
Dang.
cool.
Yeah, it's a blessing here. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was okay. Boy.
So yes, Monterrey did lose to Chivas 2-0. Pachuca lost to Toluca 3-2. Que León
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Monterrey lost to Chivas playing with 2 men down and lots of help from VAR. Yeah,
We had already moved on, Louis.
I know.
I'm sorry, but that's a very important asterisk.
Yeah, but they were just
You're
going to say they
anti-Chivas.
lost. Yeah. I mean,
You're anti-Chivas. It's understandable.
I think it's been established well from the beginning. Pumas and Cruz Azul drawing 0-0. Atlas losing to Querétaro 3-2. They were also a man down. Our win against Necaxa, and then Juarez beating Santos 2-1 at the very end. Which, I mean, I saw that coming towards the end. Poor Nacho. Nacho did not do
Poor
a good
Nacho.
job closing out that game.
Hey, pero aquí va lo de Nacho. I think one of the things I never liked about him es que siempre quiere guardar el resultado. I think que quiso defender esos últimos minutos quiso defender and se le vino la noche encima. Are they checking VAR for a goal?
Yeah, they
Carlos?
are.
They might be calling it back. Yeah.
Yeah. I see you looking too. I'm looking right here.
Was it for off or what?
Offside?
Either an offside or a foul.
Falta.
So I was thinking today. I had a thought about. I sent you guys the Davila goal today, right? The
Oh, yeah.
Chilena. I thought to
Yeah.
myself, like, do you guys still like root for our ex players and our ex coaches when they leave Leon?
Some.
No.
I think it depends who it is.
Like,
Yeah,
like si se va Fidel Ambris to Europe, are we still like? Do you still root for him?
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
Yeah?
I'll root for that.
but not
Yeah.
not like Nacho Ambris, not like Davila.
I want him
Davila.
to do
Not
well.
Not Davila. I want to know why not. Why not?
Because
Not
Louis just
Davila.
has something against him, personally.
No,
He
No,
gave us
even
our
me.
first CCL
I
title.
didn't.
Me, nah,
I
Davila.
didn't. I have his name on the back of the primary kit for this season. Before
Yeah, that's what
he
you were
forced
really
his way
mad.
out of the
That's what
club.
you're mad, Louis. That's what you're
Before
mad.
he forced his way out of the club.
Yeah.
I didn't have he was one of my favorites. It might have been my favorite before he did that, but he forced his way out of the club in a very unsavory manner, in my opinion, to go to a league that's not even as good as Liga MX. I'm sorry, it's not.
The Russian league is not. They got a lot of money. That's one thing.
Like, that is not the sueño europeo. That is just, I don't even know what that was. It was a dumb move. And he's not going to get more eyes on him.
Putin. Maybe he's a Putin aficionado.
He's not going to get more eyes on him by playing in that league than he would have been in Liga MX. He's farther away from his selección. Like, it made no sense. It made no sense then. It makes no sense now. And it was a dumb move, and I have no reason to wish for his success playing in the Russian league. That is just,
that sounds mean because he did so much for your club, right? And you even have him on a jersey. Like, I get it. The way he left was wrong, but he still was a good player for us. Like, he never, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like have a vendetta against him.
He was the MVP of the CCL. I'll always
Where's
thank him for that.
What happened to him?
Diorio's out. Diorio he's out of the league.
He's like, I was gonna say, like, if I'm gonna support anybody, give me Diorio. I don't even know what happened to him.
But Diorio wasn't a candidate to make the leap to Europe.
No, I know.
No,
but they're saying like ex-players, and I'm saying like I would only root for players and coaches that, sin lugar a duda, there's not even a doubt in people's mind that they have León en su corazón. You know, that they actually came here and they actually they felt like this is my team for life. You know, those are the people that I go for. If you're gonna just come and play a couple of seasons and you're not really like, and you go, then that's just gonna be how it's gonna be. But when you continuously have people como Matosas or Guli Peña that are always gonna be identified no matter where they go, those are the people that I root for. And you know, there's other reasons too. Obviously, everybody's different. You're gonna have different kind of like players that uniquely touched you in a way because you saw even you met them in a way or something. Like, it's just weird, you know. It's like Elias, like, because I met him so many times. I always wanted que le vaya bien. But he came back to León. I was one of the only one that was probably happy. People were saying, "Está viejo."
I was happy.
Rooting for him.
I was very happy.
We're not
And his
toxic.
first-
We're not toxic. I'm trying to say.
Well, no,
We're
and his first couple seasons back were productive too. I mean,
exactly.
he-
And I was like, why are people hating on the guy that gave so much to us? But anyway, those are the people
No,
that
but
no,
look, I don't hate Davila, but I think the circumstances in which he left, it's perfectly normal not to be that invested in his success at this current next stop that he's at, because it was
but it's not saying like, oh, you're invested, but it's like, oh, he scores, you'd be like, oh, good for him, he scored a cool goal. Yeah, that's all we're at. That's what we're saying. You know what I mean?
The way I see it is like he's Club Leon alumni, right?
Andale.
Yeah, he's Club Leon alumni, and
well, that's different. Like maybe, yeah, you're right. Maybe like, but down the line, if there were to be like Hall of Fame, a Leon Hall of Fame, maybe he's like,
he's on the ballot.
He's not first ballot though.
I think
probably, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. He's definitely.
I don't know. I mean,
the right word, alumni. He's a Club
he
Leon.
went.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
it's. I mean, okay, it's more than that too. He went to a worse league. There are fewer eyes on him, and just how much could he have helped us in the Club World Cup? How much could he still be helping us now? Imagine having Davila on that team with everyone else that's already there. I mean, I think we're a title contender if he's still here.
Nunca existe. And he got heavily criticized for getting number 10 too, because he wasn't filling those shoes either. So it's like, you just never know what happens. We never know if you count on him, he's going to have a season or not. Like,
what I'm saying is, I don't think his job was done here. I think he had more to contribute to the club.
I agree.
Especially the Club World Cup.
Especially the Club World Cup.
The Club World. That's maybe the one thing that I can like. Yeah, that's maybe the one thing that I'm like, that bothers me about him is like.
And why would he make that move and give up his opportunity to play in the Club World Cup? It's just none of it makes sense. Absolutely none of it makes sense.
Yeah, but I think what Javier said is important. Like, players that come here and they're like really a part of Leon. Like, for example, right now, Adonis Frias has the title tatted on his leg, the CONCACAF title. So like, when he leaves, he's going to keep that for the rest of his life. So like, I'm already thinking like, this guy is he really feels these colors and the city. Like, I'm rooting for him no matter where he goes.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for him no matter where he goes.
I agree. Those are the people that because this is, I think at the end of the day, we feel like we love Leon, right? And we feel like a lot of the times people want to go somewhere else. But when they actually come here and like, you know what, this is the spot. This like, even Guardado surprised me when he came to Leon. And I'm going to be honest, I'm like, oh, of all the teams you could have actually, I know it's because of the Grupo Pachuca and everything, the whole situation they was going through when he needed help from wanting to come back to Fútbol Mexicano and Atlas, and they said no to him. But other than that, I just feel like, to me, that's the one thing that I like the most, because I've seen so many players que han llegado a León and they actually stay in the city, and they just consider themselves como otro Leones, and it's kind of like that's the thing that the people of León are always going to feel identified with. And
another one is Pedro Aquino. I don't know if he still has that barbershop in León. Does he still have that barbershop?
He has.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he does, and he has that León tatted on his back.
He has a Leon title.
I'm remembering of a joke I think we made about the barbershop from our chat. I'm trying to
Wait, what?
Talk about it.
I think we made a joke about that at some point in our private chat about Aquino. I think we were mad at him or something, and we threw in his barbershop or something. I can't remember. I'll have to look for the message and send it to you guys. Arturo Ruiz said Davila was part of that Leon's most important title. Of course, I support that man. That's what
I would love to be there with you, buddy, but I just can't be in the same way.
And it's important, I'll say, but again, para mucha gente, they're going to feel el ascenso, they're going to feel el primer bicampeonato. For them, for a lot of people right now, that León is su vida, of course, it's just it's recent. But yeah, baby, let's give it time, because it is an important título. But it also is un título that could have come such a long time ago. Like, if we do our research, tantas veces que estaba tan cerca de, even in, when they won in 92 and they lost to Saprissa, like that would have been it, and then we would have said that those are the greatest of all time. But como dice Kari, el hubiera no existe, and of course es un título muy importante que ganó León, and especially against who we beat LAFC. So of course these players are going to be remembered. But again, we see con los del ascenso, murals, right? We see all these things on the bicampeonato, and that's how, in a way, we're gonna see who we actually are gonna always love and support. We got murals of Nacho and Matosa. It's gonna be hard to forget people que te dio una estrella. So it just depends how much they keep remembering La Afición. That's it. It really it just comes down to that. Once you do your thing and you leave, it just comes down to how much you keep remembering and coming back. Like Tita viene a la ciudad, and that's what we love. Boselli, you know, that's another one. Those two are gonna compete for all time with Chapo and La Tota, who again, someone that came from Mexico City in 1950, played 16 years and lived his whole entire life. So this is my city. This is where I want to dedicate my entire life to. So yeah, those are the people that la gente, la afición are never, ever, ever gonna forget, and we're always gonna support them.
Facts.
Todo.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't a hot take, but at least it got some conversation going.
It was a good one. The Davila one's a good one.
Yeah, he's just never going to be in that category. I mean, just even his attitude toward the club, it's not like it was ever negative. I mean, I don't think he disliked being here, but he just I don't know, it just seemed like he always treated
it
like
a stepping stone,
like
right?
a job.
Like he saw Leon like a stepping stone, you say.
Even Viñas right now, he's only been here a short time, and he's got a foot out the door. But when they talk to him, he's very, very invested still in Club Leon, and he's only focused on that, and he makes that very, very clear.
Yeah.
Whenever he's asked about that, and Davila was never like that in interviews. He was never like Leon first. I mean, he was very, very, very important to the club, and clearly it mattered to him to contribute to the club. But even Viñas is he's going to be remembered in a different way, I think, just because the way he talks about being a member of this team. I don't know.
Dude, that's a great hot take, because you're right. Viñas might not win nothing con Leon, but we're going to remember him because he's está metiendo golazos. It's different, man. It's like you can't really, Matt, you can't fabricate this. It's like there's a DNA. Sometimes a player comes and it's just a connection. And Viña had it when he came, started making goles importantes, Boselianos, I call them, because they remind us of Boselli, because they're important, they're gloriosos, los goles que hace. Y se conecta con la afición. It's something that, and you know, I know que está agradecido con el grupo, of course, how are you not going to love Leon being Viñas? They're not being super egoísticos and saying, oh, we're not going to sell him. Like, no, we want the best for him. So
I think there's already an important offer on the table for him, if it's being this widely talked about.
At this point
supposedly there isn't yet, but you could be right.
No, there has to be. Come on, everyone's confirming it. Even Baba confirmed it in the press conference after Necaxa.
Well, Presi también. That was to me a big one. That
somebody I saw somebody on Twitter say that maybe it's a part of the Guardado deal. You know, maybe there's a little partnership there where he's going to Betis.
If he goes to Betis, la va a romper en Betis.
That would be a good spot for him.
Man. Yeah, I think
but
he goes to Betis.
I do have a hot take. I have a hot take.
Roll the clip.
Viñas, with as rapidly as the afición has fallen in love with him, and in such a short time, and as much as he's contributed in such a short time, and his particular age, going to Europe on the tail end of when players usually make that jump, I could see him being one of those guys. He goes and he vivir el sueño europeo, and then maybe when he's 29 or 30,
I know where you're going.
And he already had that. You know, he had the experience. He maybe he has a couple of good years over there, and then starts to decline. And then when he's 29 or 30, he comes back and he makes the Boselli move. He makes the Boselli move back to Club Leon. He comes back at age 29, 30, still a really, really good player, and he comes back and plays a few more seasons here. I could see that happening.
Y que diga abiertamente, quiero ser el máximo goleador de León, because that's what with Boselli not being the máximo goleador, which is going to be a reality. That's the first thing I thought about Viñas. Like, well, if this guy, man, you know, si se queda unos años, but that's not a reality. But what could be is what you're saying, Louis. En su retorno, you know, he can make a run for it. I'm not saying he's going to be it's hard, to be honest. It's been like what, almost like 60 years desde que el Dumbo López metió los 136 goles. So, it's going to be hard, but Viñas can make a run for it. because he's made a lot of goals in such a short amount of time, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy because I also thought about that same exact hot take sometime today or yesterday, but I don't know. I didn't vocalize it. But
No, but
something's
something.
happening in like the ether of the universe where we all communicate with each other.
Well, exactly. We're all on the same wavelength.
I don't think it's out of the question at all. I mean, just given you take all the circumstances into account, and I think he could be a candidate to make a return when he's still on the tail end of his prime, just like Boselli did. Obviously, it would be a little different because he was already here and he'd come back rather than make the jump for the first time. But I don't know. It's a fun thing to think about.
So I already had this in mind. I was like, so if he leaves and comes back, but comes back to Liga MX with America, are you guys still gonna like?
No, because he went to America, man.
That would be brutal.
He would know, but he would. Here's the thing: if you're here in León, you know that that's the team that you can't. I know even if he goes back or whatever, he knows what it's gonna mean for León fans. Like he knows it's gonna be, oh, dude, why? Like he shouldn't. If he goes to another team,
I feel like that's less likely though. Seems like he's got a great relationship with Martinez. Like they seem to have just like a really really great relationship. One that I don't think he ever had.
Don't put that into the universe. Just don't even ever think about that again.
Yeah.
No. We love uncomfortable hypotheticals. We love uncomfortable hypotheticals on this podcast.
No, that's scary. Man.
I won't answer that question. The only thing I will say, about Viñas is I haven't seen him kiss our crest yet.
That's true.
So I want to see that. I want to see that happen at least once before he leaves.
What if it doesn't happen, Carlos? How are you gonna feel?
It doesn't happen.
Is he still gonna be an alumni?
He was just being a professional, a hell of a professional. Maybe he doesn't win a title, but he'll always be remembered.
But then again, ahí es cuando también entra la afición.
He's got a great goal celebration already, Carlos. He's got the T for Teddy for his Pomeranian puppy.
Yeah, I want actually someone to like get out a thing and he's a toro and he like goes through it. Like that would be a great celebration.
Did he ever do this again in America?
No, because his Pomeranian puppy is like less than 6 months old.
He only played.
He's such a biographer about his Pomeranian.
When he played in America, that Pomeranian puppy was just an apple of its Pomeranian mother's eye.
There it is. He's already. Come on. He loves his Pomeranian, so he loves León because Pomeranian reminds him of León. So whenever he goes in the world, he's gonna see us. Hold on. He's gonna see us. We're gonna go like this to him. He's gonna be, he's gonna go back to us, and then he's gonna remember his love for León, and he's gonna think about it in his subconscious mind. So when he thinks about coming back to Liga MX, he's León, because that's our job at that point to remember them, to celebrate them, because that's how they remember. Me quieren en León, so it makes it easier for these players.
So I think Carlos had mentioned coaches. Do you guys have any coaches?
Nachito,
I for him. Nachito, Ambriz is someone that I've always admired and respected since he was a player. To be honest, I think he's always been one of the dopest, just Mexican players of all time. And I always loved his way of talking about when he was being coached by Menotti. And just the way how he was auxiliar de Javier Aguirre, he just got a really great resume, and he's someone that los hizo campeón golazo de Monterrey. Anyway,
bro, I'm behind.
I
think.
But yeah,
who else do I root for? I root for Holland. Holland, I think was like a very quiet, very humble guy. He didn't do anything wrong, I think.
Ariel Holland.
He got us our first Leagues Cup.
Yeah,
that was the final. Couldn't win.
I think he got kind of I think it got kind of a raw deal. Yeah, I got nothing against Holland. He accomplished a fair amount in a pretty short period of time.
What about Larcamón? What about Larcamón?
Ratlas, honestly, if it wasn't for Ratlas, he would have.
You guys still root for Larcamón wherever he goes?
I got nothing against him. He didn't force his way out. I mean, it's the magic.
Dirty in that comunicado. Maybe
the magic ran out for him. He caught fire in a bottle, and that only got him so far. Honestly, And
Yeah,
Holland, he didn't force his way out either. And
Yeah,
he
he didn't.
accomplished a lot in a short period of time.
It should have been
obviously
Liga and Leagues Cup.
Obviously, Nacho Ambriz probably supera los dos in terms of his status, his place on the list of legendary status and all that. But
yeah,
I don't know. I also kind of feel like he left some things on the table when he left. I didn't really care for the way he left. I thought he I don't know. He was chasing a dream that probably wasn't going to happen for him, honestly. And I don't think probably at this point is going to happen for him.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was left wanting more when he left. Same with Davila. The way they kind of provoked their own salida. I just didn't. I don't know. That don't sit right with me. It don't sit right with me. But I mean, obviously, you can't look back on Nacho Ambriz's time here and not think of it with joy and happiness and respect. On some
Honestly, like ever since I've been here in Torreon going to games and all that, I think this past game, the one against Cruz Azul, I don't think I have like shouted goal for just like a Santos match, but since Nacho Ambriz, I don't know, it's just a feeling. Like you see Nacho and you just kind of relive those moments. He's such a nice guy, and like he just brings back that like nostalgia. And I was like, oh, that's so great. That's why I think for Nacho, yes, wherever he goes, I wish him nothing but the best.
Don't you dare become a Santos fan, Kari. That sounds like Stockholm
Yeah.
No, it's just like that. No,
know.
it's good. Look, with a coach like Nacho, like he's just well respected. Obviously, what he did at Leon, and he's just the way he's like on the sideline. I just want to go give him a hug and be like, Nacho, thank you so much for what you did at Leon. It's just like he's like a teddy bear, like a grandpa teddy bear. You just want to go hug him.
My hot take is.
I mean, I wouldn't hug him, but
wait, whoa! Don't say it until we play the clip.
Wait.
Javi, not you saying you wouldn't hug him.
I mean,
don't say that
because I'm just saying he'd probably punch me. He wouldn't like. It's different for a girl. You can go up to him, hug him. If I go, I want to hug you, not sure. I'll get punched. I'll get stopped by security.
Okay.
I can't just go hug him. I gotta dab him or something. I don't know.
Let's do hot take.
Wait, what's the hot take? Who's our hot take?
So my hot take is that it's kind of piggybacking off of Fiero Viajero's hot take, where he said that Viñas will come back in the future at some point.
Yeah.
I think why not have a second run for Nacho Ambriz as well at the same time?
Well, what about Vucetich? Nah, he's never coming back.
Nah.
No, I think Ambriz is more likely.
The game is kind of passed Vucetich by, in my opinion.
Yeah, but again, he's someone that's very loved and remembered in Leon. And
I like that.
He's más de Monterrey.
He is. Sure. Yeah, he is.
He's más de Monterrey.
I like that.
For sure.
I like that hot take, Carlos. Under a few conditions. One, he accepts the fact that he's probably never going to coach the Selección Mexicana or any major.
No, don't say that. No, leave that man alone. His dream is still there. All it takes is someone to be like, you know what? Let's take Jimmy out, and Nacho slides right in. Okay.
Televisa is never going to hire Nacho Ambriz. If they didn't do it after all the success.
You know what? You cannot say anything about La Selección Mexicana because you do not like them.
Oh, I sure as hell can.
No,
in terms of when it comes to Nacho Ambriz, Nacho Ambriz's connections
with
them,
the U.S. national team. No, leave that.
To be honest, if they did want him to be technical, he would have been technical a while ago.
They've had so many opportunities to hire him when he's been doing great things, and they just never have.
They're probably going to bring Scolari or Mourinho.
Leave that man alone. He can still dream.
If he's fully bought in and he wants to have a real project here again, then I'm all for it.
I feel sorry for Hugo Sanchez. He's never going to get a shot again. Hugo Sanchez is never going to get.
I saw on Twitter about Hugo Sanchez about the San Diego FC that he might coach it or something like that. I just saw a tweet not too long ago.
He has a house here. He's a San Diegan to most of us. He's been living here since 1980. Sure, why not? I wouldn't mind it. The only thing I didn't like about the rumors is that Ochoa was gonna come.
Yeah, that was the only thing I saw.
I'm like, hey man, what the heck? we want to be LAFC, man. What the heck? We're not gonna be LAFC like this.
Yeah, I saw that.
So you're gonna be a San Diego FC fan?
Yes, I am. Well, I love San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah,
I appreciate. I respect that.
Well, it's because it's sin querer, ya me hizo membership and all that, and I was kind of, around a bunch of people there, and Manny Machado was there, so that's Manny Machado, man. So like, I got to meet Manny Machado at an SDFC event, and the only reason why I like SDFC is because Cholo fans already hate San Diego FC, and I hate Cholos, so it's like more reasons to hate Cholos and LA. Come on, baby, like I just want Leon and Leon and SDFC to kind of make one partnership, like we'll support each other or something. I don't know what's gonna happen with this team, to be honest, but I didn't know about the Hugo Sanchez. That's interesting. I know he wants la selección since que se la quitaron in 09 or whatever, 08, right? Cuando fue lo de los Olímpicos? I don't remember. But
I mean, in the same way that Ochoa would be a good signing, he'd be a good signing if they want to really draw in the Mexicano community in San Diego and draw away the fans from Xolos and make them San Diego FC fans.
That's true.
That's probably that's why they would do it. Yeah.
Would you guys have Paiva back?
No.
I mean, with what he's doing with Toluca, I wouldn't mind it.
I think
if he's showing that he can coach, that he can actually coach at this level, so why not?
Again,
I don't think he got a fair shot with us either.
No, but why did he leave? I think he left because he wasn't comfortable here.
Well, I don't think
para mí lo echaron.
No, but
he was crying.
Well, yeah.
If he can keep his emotions in check, he's a little bit of a chillon. Like he was a little bit too emotional, like to handle the task at hand. I felt like
he complained about los jugadores que no le trajeron, so he didn't feel. I didn't think he felt comfortable here. So it was like
my players don't respect me, and he's a little bit of a chillon.
It was kind of like mutual, like you can go, I want to go. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't think he would want to come back.
But it seems like he's done. Yeah.
I think that's something that he learned from this league. I think maybe in other leagues he was more comfortable saying that. It was more accepted. Yeah. But once he got here, it was like, okay, you can't say that. You can't do that. Let's back off. And I mean, I haven't heard anything bad from his.
No, he's done better. He's done better with that as he's been at Toluca. But I gotta say, Carlos, that CCC now, that early CCC exit with Toluca against Herediano, that was bad. That was bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
And Toluca and the jury's still out. I could see his Toluca crashing and burning in Liguilla too. I don't know. I just don't trust him.
I mean, I think the greatest thing he did for us was leave us Pobelon.
Yeah.
He discovered.
That's true.
Pues que venga como, no sé, director de la Esmeralda. I don't know. Like if he's got a really good eye for that, I will give him that for sure. But no sé, I don't think he would want to come back, to be honest.
Arturo Ruiz said, love to see Nacho again, but second opportunities haven't gone well at Club Leon.
Like who?
Well,
who got a second opportunity?
Well, maybe the players. If you're talking about Gulli, that's the only one that I can remember.
Oh.
That's the only one. And it's unfair.
Gulli scored that goal in Aguascalientes.
And I love Gulli. That's when you talk about people you support. I'm a little scared because I haven't seen him post anything on Instagram for like a couple of months. No, I follow Gulli Peña's entire
Isn't he still playing in Europe? Like right now?
He's in Syria. He's in a league in Syria. But last time, but gran representante. No, he's getting paid a lot or something. I don't know, but I just want him to do well in life. Like that's how far I support people that are ex-León players. Pero I do know que se fue a jugar a Syria, and it is random. And he hasn't posted
34.
he hasn't posted anything in a couple of months. He was retweeting people's like happy birthday wishes, but how do we know it's him? I don't know. I'm a little like.
See, if
the kidnap Gulli, man.
His issues,
Yeah, well, he can't drink in those countries. Or maybe
that's
Syria.
That's true.
Maybe that's why they send him over there.
For that reason, it's probably good. But there's better play. I'm sure a Saudi Arabian club would pick him up.
He wasn't.
Saudi Arabia. I can speak from experience. Would be way better than Syria.
He was in Saudi Arabia, and then for a whole year, and then he just got to the Syrian league in 2024.
Yeah. He played.
But but I'm telling you, he had like a little más o menos good run in Central America. Salió campeón con el FAS. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was really following him because, again, I don't like como mucha gente se burla que es borracho and all that. I'm like, look, man, that's actually something that it's unfortunate that people sometimes, and there's a lot of players that have just tan caído por eso, but I wouldn't want to make fun of something like that, especially someone that gave you so much. A mí me emocionó mucho sus goles en el ascenso, sus goles en esa final. Luego, I remember the first time cuando León was going through that, cuando ascendieron, and they were supposed to sign with TV Azteca, and TV Azteca was going to give León some money, but León said, no, we want some more money because that's like a little bit of money. Well, that's what we gave Tecos. And Martinez is like, well, we're not Tecos. So, well, okay, well, no one's going to watch you. So I remember that game was the first game, Tijuana León. It was the first game that I saw. It was like, seeing León en Primera División otra vez. Because they pasaron el Querétaro León en Televisa. Jornada 1, gol de Urbano, I remember that. And then they played against Tijuana. And those were los golazos que yo vi del Gulli. And people were like, oh, who's that player? I remember people were saying that. Un gol de Chilena. And un golazo el Gulli. Metía puros golazos. Como lo dice Matosas. Era una bestia. So, yeah, that's a player that I'm always going to support him wherever he goes.
I think it's just sad that, like, because you think it's like these players, like, they're professionals. So they need to act professionals. Yeah. And if you make one mistake, it can drag you and change your career. I mean, look at Brian Fernandez. I mean, he went from Necaxa to MLS and se perdió la droga, and he was such a
not just anywhere in MLS, Scotty.
Portland. He was
Portland.
I have his jersey, his Portland Timbers jersey.
Of course you do, Louis. Of course you do.
See you there in July.
It's just sad que se pierden por una estupidez,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you want to root for the people to get help and
of
to
course.
try to get better. I don't support the people that make jokes and make fun of it. When probably sus tíos son más borrachos que Gulli, so I think it always comes from a place there. It's like, come on, bro.
Yeah. I totally understand.
Leave people in their private lives, But
the thing is, Javi, like, they're football players. They're out in public. So,
but su carrera es corta,
it's
like
looked
he knows
up to
that.
them, so imagine like a kid looking up to Gulli, and then Gulli se anda borracho y todo, like, in that time, like, pues se te cae el ídolo,
Yeah, well, at that time, when it comes to, like, it's hard to put people as ídolos and put people as role models. Some of them want to be role models, some of them don't want to be role models. They will play the game. And that's why people get lost in drugs and stuff, because they just got these pressures that they feel like they got to escape somehow. But the point of all of that is more than anything. It's like to have these demons, or to have these addictions, is one thing, but to, like, actively just be making fun of people like that and being like, yeah, you suck, bro. Like, really, bro? This guy gave you un título. Like you could say, like, you're a borracho or whatever, I guess. But in a way, when you want people to just fall and not get up, that's what I don't like. Like, the fact that he's been trying to do well, I think, jugando. I haven't heard anything. I said, if you go to his Instagram, last thing he posted was like 3 months ago. And
you should message him, like,
this is not gonna ask for me.
Gulli, are you okay? Why not?
Well, he's in Syria. I'm just thinking, like, what if something happened and, like, Assad or something? I don't know. I was just scared, man. It's like legitimately scared for
him. Okay, so let's move on. Next jornada, starting Friday night, Mazatlán versus Pumas, Xolos versus Necaxa, Viernes Botanero. Our game, León Querétaro, starts off on Saturday. Tigres Pachuca, Chivas Puebla versus Monterrey, Santos América, Sunday Toluca Atlas, and San Luis Juárez. So we're almost near to the end of the season. Next game against Querétaro. You guys want to go prediction time?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Prediction time.
People in the chat, let us know what your prediction is for the next upcoming game that we're going to give you our predictions. Louis, what is your prediction?
Yeah, this is a tricky one. This one is tough. I mean, I said before we played against Necaxa, this game is incredibly important, huge, and that doesn't change for that. I mean, the same narrative applies for this one. Another team that we should be able to beat under any circumstances ever, but is right there with us in the table, looking for the same points in the same spots in the table. So this is going to be a hard-fought match. It's not going to be easy. I mean, we usually beat Querétaro, especially at home, but oh man, this is a tough one to predict. I think it's going to be another nail biter. We're probably going to have a 1-goal lead headed down the stretch, and we're just going to be viendo la hora practically. I'll go with another 2-1. Viñas gets on the score sheet again. We'll see who else joins him on there. We're going to give up another trash goal on the counter. Just one stretch of horrible defending that bites us in the behind, as per usual, as it did against Necaxa. I think it's going to be a similar type game probably to the Necaxa match. I mean, I think Querétaro, like Necaxa did, they're probably going to give us a ton of possession. They're going to wait for the counter. They're not going to try to do anything fancy. They're going to jugar al error, and it's going to be a similar kind of game. And it's going to be another 2-1. We're going to get the points, and with those points, we might by the time the jornada is finished, we might be in puestos de clasificación directa. That's what I'm hoping for.
Javi.
Okay. So this game against Querétaro, I think, like the game against Necaxa, it's as important because de la tabla. But I do think this is a team that we can say Necaxa has been lucky, but I think Querétaro's been luckier against, the partido contra Atlas. El error del jugador de Atlas, I think, really contributed to Querétaro just getting those 3 points, and they've just been very lucky why they got their 20 points. I think Leon's been unlucky.
And the missed penalty against. Yeah.
So I think Necaxa fue, especialmente en casa de ellos. Louis mentioned they haven't lost all season there. Leon played very well. Could have played even better, but they're getting this kind of un estilo ya de jugar. Viñas is on fire, so it's gonna be very hard to put him out. So against Querétaro, I think León va a ganar 3-1. I think León is going to play very well, and I think, of course, because Querétaro has been playing decently to the point where we're neck and neck with them. But I do think que León is va en casa, especially a team against Querétaro, a regional rivalry in a way because they're very close. And I imagine some people de Querétaro, but for sure you can't lose that game for that reason and sense. So I think there's going to be un partido muy con muchos roces, So I just really hope que no haya lesiones, and in terms of who's going to score, I just want Viñas to keep scoring para que si se gana un título de goleo, and if possible, no sé lo de Guardado, que pueda jugar unos minutos si está listo, no. If not, those are the things I'm looking for this game. Of course, obviously the win. Pero I do think que León juega mejor que Querétaro. So por eso pienso que va a ganar un poquito más amplio que contra Necaxa, 3-1.
Okay. Let's see with the chat so far. Sauceboy said 3-1 León.
I agree, Sauceboy.
He said, I think it'll be a difficult game, but we'll get 2 late winners. Very important game. Arturo Ruiz says we draw 1-1. Interesting.
What?
Are you from Querétaro, bro? Or are you just like your mom from Querétaro? I'm from Mazatlán, so I don't know. My mom was right here with me.
I think we'll get a win. I think we'll, obviously we're at home. We know how much this match, how big this match is, how important it is moving up in the standings, trying to get into direct qualification. As crazy as it sounds, we're only 2 points away from it. As crazy and ugly and bad of a season as we've had, and with so many injuries, we're only 2 points away from direct qualification, which is kind of weird to say. Who would have thought? I think we'll get a win, and I think we'll get a clean sheet too. I really don't see Querétaro scoring on us, so I'm going to go with a 2-0 León.
I like that.
Yeah.
León needs to keep, sí cierto, porque tiene negativo algo, León, en sus
Yeah.
diferencias. So yeah, León has got to keep
Jeffrey.
clean
Who's
sheet.
Jeffrey?
Is that your dad, Louis?
Oh,
Mm,
that's Louis' mom.
oh,
Yeah,
that's my
it's
mom.
Yeah.
Hello.
I didn't realize we were streaming on Facebook again.
Yeah, I saw it. I always kind of started doing that now.
Yeah,
I thought you
Javi.
said Carlos. You freaked me out because I heard like a dog barking, but it's not over here. And you said Jerry. I'm like, what? That's like I thought that's what I heard, and that's my dog's name. So I'm like, wait, what's going on? I was a little confused there.
I'm gonna go with Louis. I'm gonna go with a 2-1. I think that's gonna be a close game, and I really hope we get the win and keep moving up on the table. So sounds good, guys. Is the Monterrey game still on?
No, it's over.
It
They won.
ended with a 2-1 win for Monterrey.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Al final metieron un golazo. Y
Nice.
Pachuca va ganando 1-0 al Herediano.
That is correct.
What
Cool.
channel is that on? Don't tell me it's on VIX.
I'm watching
It's on
everything on
FS1.
FS1. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I got
watching it on
FS1.
FS1.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right. Well,
It might also be on TUDN if you want to watch the Spanish commentary.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I can't find the one that's Spanish. That's why I'm watching it.
Yeah, no, it's on. I think that one's on VIX.
Okay.
The one I'm through the NS is on VIX.
okay, guys. Well, let's
All
go
right.
ahead and go. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, Arturo Ruiz,
Gracias todos.
Boy, for stopping in, and also Louis' mom for stopping in as well. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If for whatever reason you are not going to be able to watch the game on Saturday, don't forget to follow Club Leon EN to keep you updated with the live updates of the game. And yeah, so fingers crossed, another victory for Leon. And we'll catch you guys next week on another episode of the Lions and Podcast.
Arriba la fiera.